Hello, welcome to today's collective general reading. As always, remember to use your own discernment, drawing with intention, and allow the message to be received with an open heart. A quantum reminder, we are speaking through symbol and story here. So please do not rely on tarot readings for factual evidence. You are always encouraged to do your own research, especially when engaging with strangers on the internet. This is a message that's been coming through your dreams, okay? This is a continuation with the energy that I just recorded from, balancing off with Ishtar, and here we came through with the Indigo Artist deck with observation. And in the previous reading, what had come through was the Page of Swords twice. Once was in the Murder of Crows deck, where I believe the name is the Observer. Let's see. As always, I'm going to do numbers. 4, 5, 4, 1, 5. 4, 5, 4, 5, 1. So you're in this transition from what you thought was going to be, yeah, we're just channeling, dude. This, what you thought was going to be your everything, your balance, your foundations, the 4 walls to your temple, to your tomb. Actually, the 4 walls to your tomb. There's a lot of activity going on in this candle. And it's interesting because there's really not much happening to this one. Someone doesn't need to be human. Someone is wanting to be heard, and they are showing up in your dream space. And whatever it is, you are not picking up on it. Wow, I'm seeing this yellow. I'm seeing the yellow trail coming off here, leading into this, coming in, going into the mountain, and this is inside the tomb, you could say. Inside this mountain, there being a whole new sky. This is your dream space. Stop and take in the view. Take stock of the treasures you've earned. So whoever is resonating with this message, who this message is for, you have already noticed a shift in dream space. It's a different world. Or it's kind of like having backstage passes to Disneyland. Like, not that I've been, but you've been there a million times, but suddenly you've been given access, you've accessed yourself, etc., given yourself permission, etc. But using simple language, you have been given access to what you always thought would be off limits for you. I'm getting yes, as I'm just tossing on my little moccasins, cozying in. And so perhaps part of it is needing to work on a nighttime routine. And I know for a lot of people that can be much. I know for me, it'll work for so long and I'm into it for a few weeks and then something happens and I'm off and then boom, I'm in like a whole other mental state. Last night, it was like anyway, my sleep isn't the story to this, but this being a collective message, there has been this disruption that's messing with your ability to catch the plane, to catch the boat at the harbor, at the bar I'm also getting. Bar being wands, staff. Staffed in dreams. So you perhaps were having in previous, perhaps now, dreams where you are staff. It could be somewhere that you've worked before in this life. It could be in a dream realm somewhere that, you know, this story continues. For some reason, you're always working at Reebok in the mall from your hometown. You know what I mean? But there's also something of you are being worked in your dream space. Is this by your own consensual, autonomous choice? That's for you to decide, but I'm getting the hint that it's not necessarily, as it's 444. Nah. And so this become the elixir. This 5, I'm getting is you doing all of this work to create this existence of this dream realm inside this mountain. And you don't, oh wow, all the relating in these messages. I'm having a really interesting time figuring out how all this collective stuff works. Me as someone that this has been something I do not speak with people about at all for 30 years. And now the past year being like, oh, I talk about this on the internet now, and figuring out where these crossovers of energy come from. And Witch and Scythe just posted a video today about Lightworker. And what I'm connecting to a story of working in dream space where you didn't really agree to is based on my understanding of working with light in dream reality. And the conditions of that work. You know, it's like, are there labor unions in the astral? Like, kidding. And also having sudden memories come back of, why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? Who is in charge? If anyone is familiar with Canadian sci-fi movies from the 90s, shout out Cube. Super good. I'm gonna have some general spoilers for Cube. It's one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies. Highly recommend you watch it. You can find it somewhere. There's also Hypercube and Cube Zero, which I've only seen one each, but I've seen original Cube so many freaking times. Here's a spoiler. At a certain point, we find out that one of the people trapped inside this cube is one of the people who created the cube, but not like he was at the top of the food chain deciding what happens where. He was just following orders. And the essence that we as the audience are given is that there are so many different companies and contracts that have worked on separate areas of this cube. No one is really in control. And I think too that they're talking about, yes, consciousness. They're also talking about like political spheres, and there's no one at the very top. Everything is just kind of like a self-driving machine, and that's a conversation for another day. But anyway, that's part of it. Here, seeing this in the camera, it's like being in a plane. Again, a lot of sky has been coming up. It's being in a plane and looking down and seeing a huge lake, just like this little puddle. But you understand that it's bigger than a puddle because you have context for looking across the land and being like, damn, that's so much. That's so much land. That's so much area. And it's not about you feeling small in relation to this land, this body of water, as I tap on this Lemuria. It's not about it makes you feel small. It's about context. For this you were born. Foster your intention for incarnating in this dimension. It's this coordinate that you are finding, this position in the world, which is going back to the previous reading. I hear you, I hear you, I see you, I hear you, I see you, I hear you. To that, again, 40, number 4, stand up and be recognized. Behold, you are the inspiration you've been looking for. I love this deck. This is the Hero's Journey Oracle deck, I believe. And what I'm seeing here is this is the only one where you are not alone. Whether this is in the dream world, whether this is astral, or it's all of this blending, merging in what is your current in identified reality. In identified, also unidentified. Interesting. I want to read this observation. These are very short, but I love This is the thing. This has been happening almost every time I've opened a book the past week. I open to the exact page. Again, you're exactly where you're supposed to be for why you are here. Observation. Look at the colors. I'm being told to watch the flow of colors as you're listening to this. Observing oneself relaxes the mind and allows you to embrace who you are. You learn to discover your true nature. Without judgment, place yourself in the role of a silent observer. Shut the front door. Observer. Shut the front door. Oh, observation will, of course. But anyway, still going back to that Page of Swords. Learn to observe what's going on inside you. Bear witness to your thoughts. Listen and hear what vibrates deep within you. What you feel becomes your strength. Through observation, you can change yourself, transform yourself, and learn better discernment. So, be silent and observe yourself. So this is going back also to this inner and outer. This orange here, as like the cover of it is third eye. So that could be a connection for you as well. I'm seeing this white face here and this sudden burst of yellow orange coming through. Ne? See how, wow, dang, yes. And that is one with the sun, be the light. Speaking of light worker, working for who? Doing what for who? 1133 as I say that. And I know for some people that's going to feel like you're not supposed to ask that, or that's, you know, going against some sort of code, or that's not how it works, or that's disrespectful. I don't care. I mean this with so much love and patience in my heart. There are powers beyond what be that are enforcing us to do things for what they tell us is our own reason. Really sink in. Is this what you are doing for you? Why are you doing this? And so part of this request to develop this nightly routine is to also work on lucid dreaming and other dream work, etc., etc. You insert here. I'm not going to tell you what to do, right? But something of it's for you to be prepared entering sleep. It's not for, as I'm pulling the flame back from the corner, it's, they are being strategic. Why aren't you? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. For those that do know what I'm talking about, know who I'm talking about, yes. Okay. With this deck, sometimes I'm only getting the words up top. A message that tried to come through and something stopped. On bottom, we have passion, 10 of cups. Lach. In the previous reading, it was the 9 of cups, and it was about the fear of reaching your full potential, you could say. There's one of this deck. Shut the front door. There's one of this deck still left in there, and it would be the Fool. Activating this, 1,000 per, 1,000 per. And I'm seeing that fire coming through this baby in utero. Yes, this light coming through, this golden light. They know you are starting. You may as well know as well. So many wells. Thinking of wells of water. Now, is it 2 that were upside down? So those will be revealed. Do you want me to shuffle these around? Absolutely not. Okay. Chariot, Seer, Sage of Wands. Seeker, Child of Wands. Whoa. Censor, Woman of Wands. Breakthrough, 7 of Pentacles. Integrity, 9 of Wands. Growth, 10 of Wands. Fulfillment, 9 of Cups. Illumination, Ace of Wands. Purity, 2 of Wands. Compassion, 3 of Wands. Holy crap. So, Wands. Definitely Wands. And I know that I had put these in order when I went, because I taught tarot at my local library the other week, but I've been shuffling this since. I know I've been shuffling this since. It's not for me to see what I don't see yet, okay? I'm seeing the mirroring images here of their, oh, kind of like a continuation now that I see it up there. But this blue sky, and there's this gold light coming in, and there's this red down bottom, this deepening. I also don't have my glasses on anymore, so I can't see the details as well, but for me, this does flow. It's kind of like the side of a mountain. This is what I'm getting, is Spirit saying, this is what you're not getting. This is what you don't see. And this is why this candle has been so active. Yes. Whoa. Art and death. And these are also back to back. So I'm like, are they? Yeah, you know, in reverse. So maybe I really didn't mix up this deck. But anyway, everything happens for a reason, right? Right. Art and death. What are you not seeing? Your art form is meant to change. Stillness. You've been focusing, you're always on your path, blah, 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 but you've been putting so much intention on trying to turn this purple. You've been working really, 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 really hard. What is this? Unakite. And you're wanting this, and you're seeing these tiny little sparks of pink. I'm not sure if you can even see in the light, but it's green, and there's very few bits of pink throughout, né? But there's something of you being, I see tiny bits of pink. Pink is close to purple. I can make this purple. And you're shoving all of your creative energy into this dense, non-porous entity. Specifically, an entity. Okay, staying on Censor. Staying on Woman of Wands, which is the Witch of the Tarot. Queen of Wands. Censor. So all of these signs, and I'm using the word synchronicity for ease, but I may be using this out of turn. But all of these little coordinates that you are picking up from Spirit in relation with what time is, where you are in time, it is time for you to reorient your relationship with the 4th dimension. I'm saying I will link it. I might forget, but if you go on my page, it's a video. I think it has an elephant on the thumbnail, and the title is something like, "This message is for everyone, but few will understand." Watch that. That's where I'm talking about these dimensions and these coordinates. There's a message for someone in there. As I glanced over here, and all I see is this green from this observation, when previously all I'd seen is the yellow. And then this 10 of Wands caught my eye, this baby hand grasping out. It's Spirit is like, yes, be curious. Yes, want. What geometry are we getting? What geometry? "24, calm within." These 6s, I'm telling you, these 6s been coming through. Look at the balance. Look at the peace. This is a divine creature in observation of their emotions. Not under constriction of, not constructed, observation. Something about finding and observe. Okay. You know how people, if before your night routine, you know how people will have a dream journal that they will do in the morning to work on dream recall and what they're remembering? 51, octagon. This idea of stopping. This, let's pause how it is that you view dream journal. Sure, you can continue doing that. What if dream journaling is part of your nightly routine? Here, this Hero's Journey deck is a dream oracle. And so for me, I may, if I were to do this, I may go find my dream oracle deck, pick a card, and focus on that. Do a little journaling, literally in bed, as I'm falling asleep. I am integrating, I am embedding this dream nature into my cells as I process through a realm, a curtain. Is just, I know, a way that we reference it. The veil being thin. Okay, I think that's it. That came through so strict near the Sometimes I feel like I'm like barking at you, but I'm like, it's trying to pick up on the signal and catch the wave before it floats away. 34, June companions. There may be something coming up in June. I'm also getting the yellow reflected in here. And 34 keeps coming up. Something in this about the insects. Perhaps dragonflies or butterflies are a symbol for you. But seeing all of these seeds of life around, something about that holding your nectar. I was speaking to someone yesterday who is a beekeeper, actually, and showed me a picture of one of their bees, and it had this giant yellow ball attached to its leg, and said, that's pollen. That's not a piece of the flower. That's a giant of pollen this little bee sucked up. And it was maybe like 1/3 or 1/4 the size of the bee. It reminded me of how ants can lift, what is it, like 10 times their mass? Something like that, like they're super strong. The power of the bee. Also getting B as in beta, as in a second run. Something differently with your art, with your creation, with all your wands. And all of this is a gift from Ishtar. And I don't know, okay, I was going to say, I don't know if it's her that's being so forceful, and I'm hearing yes. So, so perhaps this is just how messages come through from her, through me. As that candle kind of backs off, and so I'm like, okay, perhaps this is the message. 23, yes. Okay. If this message resonates with you, you can like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to hear from me more often. In the description, I will have a link to my Substack, which hosts the 444 Collective, where the signal is active. I've also listed my Buy Me a Coffee, where I have a few personal readings up for purchase, as well as experimental integration sessions. More details on the posting. Stay tuned.